Let me just say that I do think the Tenrai 3 event is a really cool event, but it still has some of the problems that I talked about in a video where I talk about the issues with Halo's events, which I'll have in the description if you want to watch that. But overall, it's really cool to see them putting more effort into their events, like the new maps that we got with the event. Now, I will say I've only played about maybe 3 or 4 of the maps just because I keep getting the pit and rig over and over. But from what I've seen, the new Eastern style remakes of old maps, they've been really cool additions, and I honestly hope they stay in the game after the event is over. Because again, they're just really cool to have in the game, and it helps diversify the aesthetic that Halo Infinite has in its map selection. I think the new aesthetic that they bring to the pit with Tenrai 3 is so much better than Empyrean, because Empyrean just looks so ugly in my opinion with the skybox and the colors they use. It's just really kind of gross, and they did a better job in Halo 3 and Halo 4 when they remade it the first time initially. It was also nice to see the rig, a Halo 4 map, return with the Event 2, and the Eastern style they used for the map was amazing. Obviously, I'm really enjoying this Eastern style they got going on with Halo. So I hope the rig continues to be a map that's in Halo Infinite's rotation because it's fun to play. Whoever made it, it being 343 or some Forger, did a really good job. And I hope that the Tenrai 3 kind of starts a trend where we'll get new, unique, aesthetically looking maps from 343 or whoever has been creating them, because I don't know if it's 343 themselves or a Forger. But I hope they just take these old maps that aren't in Halo Infinite yet, give them a new aesthetic like they did with the pit and rig, and we get stuff like, I don't know, maybe a Crisis style of the map when the Chimera event comes around, or maybe a more Trench World War I vibed map when the Eagle Strike events come around, because that would be really cool in my opinion, and it was done well this time, so why not keep doing it? Now, onto another positive note, it was also nice to see the event have its own unique playlist dedicated to it, rather than a random playlist be used as the event playlist. Because a lot of the events in Season 4 have been using random playlists to have the event. Like, the playlist will already be in rotation, and then an event comes around and they just reuse a playlist. I like to see it be a bit more original, and yeah, sure, you know, we saw the Ninja Slayer in Lone Wolves, but it's nice to see it in 4v4 with the new unique maps. It just makes the event seem like an actual event, rather than us just getting free armor. It also helps Tenrai 3 that the playlist that they chose to dedicate Tenrai 3 to has been fun. I think Ninja Slayer is overall a fun, goofy game mode. And all the game modes, including the objective game modes, have been fun, except King of the Hill. King of the Hill always sucks in my opinion. Any game mode where you stay in one place like King of the Hill or Oddball where you gotta go get a ball, those are just boring, but when you can kind of spread out and kind of try to hit the objective like Strongholds or Capture the Flag, those are objective modes I prefer in a more casual setting. But Slayer is still king. No other game mode can even compete with Slayer. It's also nice that the Fracture cores are getting more stuff to them and they're free to boot, because the armor cores after the winter update have been really thin, including the Chimera with Season 3. Like, there's not a whole lot of customization options with them. So it's nice to see them finally fleshing them out, and I kind of wish that they did that during a whole season. Like, you know, the Fracture core for Season 1 was the Uri, so we should have gotten the Uri 1, 2, and 3 then. That way it could have been way more fleshed out to begin with. Now, with me singing the event praises, let's talk about what I think's bad about it. Even though the event is better than the previous season events, with bringing more than just free armor to the table, it still has its problems. Number 1, I do think the event is too long. A 2-week event, being able to be complete in 3 games technically, and I've completed the whole event in 4 myself, without trying to do that, is just terrible. It should not be a 2-week event. It's not hard to complete these challenges, especially when you get like 2 or 3 of the challenges at once, be like, kill 20 enemies. That's not hard, anyone can do that. You just play the game and you'll get the kills. Especially on the more casual playlists, like the Tenrai 3 playlist, or Fiesta, for example. I mean, it's easy to get 20 kills in those playlists from my experience. Now, the second problem I have with this event is that the free stuff is good this time in the event. You know, the helmet, the shoulder pieces, stuff like that. I really enjoy that they added that to the event. I thought Tenrai 2 was a little bit lackluster compared, but The nameplates, armor emblems, weapon emblems, and vehicle emblems should just be one tier instead of taking up 4 out of the 10 slots. Because it's just the same emblems spread out in the free battle pass 4 different times, making the free stuff you really get just 5 items instead of the promised 10, if you want to include the repeat shoulder armor pieces to the list too. And if not, then congratulations, it's really 6 free items instead of the 10 that we were promised, because 4 of them, again, are just repeat emblems. And the problem I have with the free battle pass that you get with the event is also a problem I have with the Season 4 battle pass as well, but I'll go into that in a later video. What I will say is overall, I've enjoyed the event. I think it's good. But 343 does severely skim out on the actual rewards because it's just not a good look when half of your items in the free battle pass are literally repeats. No one cares that the weapon emblem, armor emblem, vehicle emblem, and nameplate are different things technically. No one cares about that. You know what they see when they look at the free battle pass? They see the same thing 4 different times and it doesn't look good. So, you know, you probably shouldn't do that because it looks lazy and it looks like you're cheaping out. Same with the shoulder pads. It's not like the knee pads, you have to unlock the left one first and then the right one. So I don't know why it's like that with the shoulder pads too. It's just stupid. This is something a lot of Halo players have been complaining about since day one, and they've still persisted on it. It doesn't look good, it's not giving us value as the consumer, and it's just lazy. I mean, who wants to see 4 out of the 10 items be the exact same emblem over and over and over? That is just my current opinion on the newest Halo event, the Tenrai 3. I think it's a better event than we've had previously in Halo Infinite, even though the nameplate, weapon plate, all that junk is crap and it basically turns it into 5 free things instead of the 10 that were promised. I still think it's better than the Tenrai 2 because of the helmet. What do you think of Tenrai 3 and just Halo events in general? And just a reminder, I do have a video dedicated to all the negatives about events in Halo. That'll be in the description if you want to watch that. Thank you for watching the video, and...
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.